Oscal, only the brave or delusional dare to send us copycat knockoff products expecting us to generate them a lot of sales. You guys know we started the lab to provide honest and hopefully to some degree educational content for people that are out there trying to make a decision, purchase anything to do with solar technology to help you make an educated decision. And while we try to make videos about the industry leading products, the products that we would actually be able to recommend at the end of the day because we don't want to steer anybody in a wrong direction, this one's interesting. Oscal reached out to us claiming that they make the Ecoflow Delta Pro replacement. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself. So we said, hey, we'd love to try one out. And they sent us this. And I was looking at it for a minute when I took it out of the box, and I couldn't figure out where the hell am I supposed to plug things in? What is this? There's no plugs. What am I looking at? And then they said, hey, yeah, that's the expansion battery. Let us redeem ourselves here and we'll send you the proper power station, which they did do. This big guy showed up maybe a week later, but it wasn't in good condition. If you listen, because the wheels are off the ground, this is when you spin the back wheel. Yeah, right? Sounds like a wheel. You don't hear anything? This is the front wheel. Completely broken right out of the box. This guy, when you turn them on, if you go ahead and just press any of these buttons, the inverter turns on for that segment. That one does nothing. We're just getting started. But regardless, you guys know here at the lab, our opinions cannot be bought. And so even though this thing showed up a little bit mangled, we figured, hey, just because it's broken doesn't mean it doesn't perform. So that is what we're here to find out today. And also just answer the question, is it worth saving $1,000 or $2,000 on the purchase of a power station? This thing's listed for $1,000 less than a Delta Pro. And so we may be using this as an example for all kind of knockoff power stations. We are gonna start with a super quick 60-second spec teardown. So sit back, grab some popcorn. Today, we are looking at the Oscal 3600, which if sold in America is actually only a 3,000, but they don't tell you that unless you read the fine print. First up, this thing passes the tiny baby lift test. It weighs 99 pounds, but it has actually really nice handles up here, which makes it pretty easy to lift. The battery bank on this guy is 3,600 watt hours, and it is a lithium iron phosphate battery. And every other spec on their website is for the European models. So unless you're paying really close attention, if you go on their website, which I don't even recommend doing, you're not getting the information that I'm gonna tell you here. This is a 3,000 watt hour inverter with a surge of, I think, 7,500 watts. It doesn't actually say what the US model surge is. It has an 1,800 watt AC input, so you can plug this thing directly into a wall outlet in your house and charge it in about 2 hours. It has a 1,600 watt solar input, pretty impressive compared to the battery size. So you can charge this thing in just over 2 hours with solar panels. In terms of output, this thing has 3 upside down 120 volt house plugs. You have a dedicated 30 amp plug right here. It has a 12 volt car plug right here. It has an Anderson port, 2 barrel connectors, 2 USB-Cs, 4 fast charge USB-As. On the back here, you have a solar input, a awfully familiar to Ecoflow fast charge, slow charge switch, and then your 120 volt socket where you charge this thing from a house plug. And on the far side, you have your expansion battery connection. And this unit is expandable up to 57.6 kilowatts with a total of 15 expansion batteries, and you only need 1 unit to get it done. Other than that, the screen is actually not bad. It has a light, ours doesn't work. It has Bluetooth with an app that is functional. And then of course you got your 2 wheels on the back and your Ecoflow style suitcase handle on the front. And you can get all of this on a website that's almost impossible to find for $1,500. And that website, Tiny Baby also just says, has a $10 coupon. A $10 coupon you can put towards this bad boy, which is amazing. So jumping in to this copycat Delta Pro, and we are gonna get started with things that we don't like, which is not normally where we start. Getting started, pulled this bad boy out of the box, wheeling it around, thought, hey, that sounds weird. Spin the wheel, I go, oh, it's only 1 wheel. Look in the back, it's complete, just the whole back end of the wheel is broken. It showed up broken, so kudos to the packing materials this was in. And I thought, hey, whatever, I'm stoked, because if you guys know anything about our channel, you know I'm a big light guy. So I'm like, I'm stoked, it has a light. I don't even give a shit that the wheel's broken. Light hasn't worked since day one. Kind of a double buzzkill right out of the box. The list of things we don't like continues with, right now, I don't even know if the mic picks it up. It's making a weird noise just because it's on. It's the only power station we have at the lab that when it's on, you can hear it. It's almost like one of those like mouse repellers that you put in your garage or like your shed, and it makes that like high pitched noise. Now we will get into some testing and obviously compare this thing to the Delta Pro. But the next thing that I just don't like about Oscal and generally these companies that we're talking about today is their website. Not just like their website, but like their company as a whole. So you guys hear me all the time say hats off to Anker, because Anker has an R&D department. You can tell someone is there designing products, trying to make them better, trying to innovate. Hats on to Oscal, because everything they sell on their website is just a copycat of something else. They don't sell the iPad, they sell the Pad 70. And they don't sell the AirPods, they sell the HiPods. Everything on their website is just a knockoff of something, and they don't even hide it. They reached out and said, this is a Delta Pro 3600 watt replica unit that we made at half the price. And it's like you click something on their website and it takes you to an AliExpress link. And what's really funny is when you click this on the website, it takes you to the crowdfunding page as if it's not even launched yet, which makes no sense. We had to ask them for a link just so we could check the price, because when we reached out to the guy that reached out to us and said, hey, what is the price of this unit? We can't figure it out. He said, I don't know. I'm at lunch with my girlfriend. Check the website. Can you imagine? Like someone that actually works with these tiny babies over here dying, dude, because it's real life. Like they don't even care. They don't care. They're just trying to make money, and they think that like sending it to people is gonna promote Oscal, the company that's selling shit on AliExpress. The Pad 70 and the iBuds. Like, bro.
It says they have 500 to 1,000 employees. On their page, there's only 11, and the owner owns Oscal shoes.
That's insane. Anyways, look, maybe that's a little bit more direct against Oscal, but a lot of these companies that you're like, review this, review that, dude, if you're buying from an AliExpress link or some hoopty like that, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. You're gonna set your house on fire. Point here is that this isn't a real company. I don't care if you buy it from AliExpress, really. What matters is no one's gonna give you tech support. No one knows anything about this. They don't know the price, they don't know the specs, they don't know anything, and when you have a problem, they don't know how to help you. Once you buy this, it is a free-for-all. They just give it to you, and then they close the door, you never see them again. There's no way to contact them, nothing. Like you're just sailing at sea alone. You don't know how to sail. And finally, mixed into kind of all this, everything that they advertise isn't really true. Especially because this like is all branded on their website. It's very obviously just like Photoshop this image in front of a bunch of stuff. Like they never actually took those photos. But like it says whisper quiet charging. It's loud as a beast. This thing's louder than when Santa snores. It makes a lot of noise. The homepage of their site says it's the world's first rugged power station. It showed up double broken in a package with bubble wrap and whatever packing material. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. We're gonna look past it. All right, that was my rant, and we're gonna move on to some testing. I actually expect it to do really well in the testing. So something that you'll find this a lot with like Knockoff or like really cheap AliExpress type companies. The stuff works, and it works because there's no safety precautions built in at all. We've done videos comparing a lot of Amazon products to a control, and the control always actually shuts off first. It doesn't last as long. It does all these things a little bit slower, but the fans are on. It's keeping itself cool, and there's longevity built into that. So I expected this to perform actually really well. I don't expect it to last more than 6 months. We ran it through a couple base tests. And so the first test we ran on this thing was efficiency. This is actually how we learned that up until the point of testing, we had been completely lied to. We thought this was a 3600 watt inverter, tried to run a 3600 watt load, kept shutting off. I was confused. Came to learn it's a 3000 watt inverter, and they just tell you in the little baby fine print on the bottom of the site. 3600 watt hour battery, we ran a 3000 watt load. Point is, an efficiency test is important because if this says it's a 3600 watt hour battery and you have a 100 watt heated sleeping bag, you would expect that sleeping bag to last 36 hours. Obviously the inverter running and the fans running take some power away from the battery. So if this thing's only 70% efficient, you would expect that heated sleeping bag to run for 25 hours. And so we have a 3600 watt hour battery. We ran a 3000 watt load, which is at the max of the inverter, so it was working super hard. It should have lasted 72 minutes and it actually lasted 58, which is not bad. That's 80% efficient. I was actually pretty pleased with that number. Same exact test on the Delta Pro came in just a couple percent higher on the efficiency scale, which I honestly didn't expect. I thought this was gonna be a little bit more efficient than the Delta Pro. That's usually how these companies make any headway in the industry, but they were pretty close, which is cool. Next up, we did the charge speed. This thing has an 1800 watt input. It advertises it should be fully charged in about 2 hours. We ran the test, plugged it in from absolutely empty. It charged in just about 2 hours. I was pleased. That's, again, Delta Pro does this basically the exact same. In testing wise so far, they're neck and neck. We also ran a surge test. This thing says it surges up to 7,200 watts, but I don't think that's like a constant surge. I think that's just like a blip. If we run even a 4,000 watt load on this guy, it does not last very long at all, but you also wouldn't really expect it to. So it's just cool that it does surge at all. And in terms of sound, this is a loud unit, but so is the Delta Pro. They're honestly both just really loud units. And the final thing we wanted to test was, amongst other things they advertise on their website, they say this thing can survive a 2.6 foot drop, which is about the height of a pickup truck bed. It did show up broken inside of packaging in a box, so my hopes are not high. That one has no comparison to the Delta Pro because the Delta Pro doesn't say drop me off the back of a pickup truck. It technically advertises right there.
Ready?
Give her. What did it? Didn't explode.
Yeah, dude.
Interesting. It didn't sound good at all. Oh, the wheel does not move now. Yeah, there's just a lot more friction on that bad boy. All right, let's see if it works. Oh, thinking. Oh, maybe the light's not on. Hey, there you go.
Oh boy.
Good job, guy. And that is it for the basic testing that we have run. And like I said, these units will run the tests and they will perform, and you will look at them and go, holy shit, they work. But I don't think they're gonna last that long. I don't think they have the longevity built in. So just be aware of that, please. We've been running our Delta Pro for years, and it still did better than this in the efficiency test, even with battery degradation. I mean, I can speak for that. I can't speak for this. And just because I don't have it in me to be a complete and utter dick, there is some things that we like about this little rascal right here. Starting with the handles. Ecoflow, figure it out. See these handles right here? This makes it so easy to pick it up and put it down. It's a heavy beast, and I really, really like these handles. A lot of companies could learn something from this right here. Light, good. Light doesn't work, bad. I like that they tried. I don't like that it doesn't work. I also do like the suitcase handle on this unit. It actually seems pretty sturdy. We have had some other things, even like the Mango Power unit handle, not good compared to this. It's got a decent build quality with the handle, like the suitcase handle and this handle. I even like that someone gave them the idea for bump stops right here. This unit, like the Delta Pro, is meant to be stood up. Whether you're trying to save space or whatever, you're meant to be able to put these units like this. We do that with the Delta Pro, and the handle on our Delta Pro is destroyed because they don't have the bump stops, so the plastic is just touching the garage floor and it's mangled. So I like that someone must have submitted the idea for bump stops because they didn't come up with this themselves. And I just like that this unit is expandable. I question how they were able to pull this off because most other units you need like 2 units and 4 batteries, or 3 units with 4 batteries each to get to like the big power ratings. This one just says you need 1 unit, 15 expansion batteries. The website photo they have is amazing. I would love to see it in action. I like that it's expandable. I question its authenticity. When it comes to comparisons, this thing was meant to compare to the Delta Pro. I'm not gonna compare it to anything because I think that anything else that you buy is probably a better decision. At the end of the day, if you're shopping for a unit of this nature, go to somewhere like Shop Solar's website and just cruise. We'll leave a link to the Delta Pro, we'll leave a link to the F3800, we'll leave a link to some reputable brands. If the unit is available on Shop Solar's website or like Signature Solar or at Home Depot or Costco or something like that, anything is better than some of the really depth of the internet things that you can find like this. So we'll leave a link. We have a sweet little coupon code with Signature Solar and with Shop Solar, whichever one you choose to use, down in the description down below. You guys can browse, try and find products that are actually good for you. Hopefully the next company that tries to send us a pile of flaming dog shit actually has like some kind of cool party trick or something tied into it that we can talk about in the video, because it doesn't feel good just dumping on companies. But at the end of the day, are these real companies? If you buy something like this, what you're doing is you're putting money in the pockets of someone that doesn't deserve it and honestly just doesn't care about you. They're just trying to make a quick buck. Units like this are the reason we speak highly about the units that we do speak highly about. That is all I got for you guys. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't buy one of these. Peace out and stay charged.